Alrighty, there
All
we
right,
go.
so we're
There we go.
back. Now we can actually get into it. See, this one, skate park. It should be easier. Like,
Ah,
if you try against this wall, it might be easier for you to clean. Yeah. See,
oh yeah, I can do shit for real.
my white one is. Watch this.
Um, no, because this is my white one on this wall. I mean, I guess it sorta works, but it doesn't.
Look at it. It doesn't get the
Meh.
paint, but it works. It works. Don't worry. I'm gonna to make this last longer. I'm not gonna use the white one.
You're good.
Because we
I
gotta
know where
have
you
we
lay
gotta be
your.
able to talk about something. Because so far we've talked about absolutely nothing. It's like, oh
Nah, no,
boy, look how cool my power wash is compared to
nah, nah. I know where you lay your head at night. You're not safe.
yours.
Oh, jeez. I mean, I assume your viewers saw the podcast. Well, assuming this comes out after the podcast,
Which is not like I might
oh,
actually. I started to think about that. I think I might do that like every other week, because I swear, like every time like, this one, like we miss a week.
mm, that's fair. Because like I try to keep up with your channel, like as I
Dude, it's been
kind of
so
go through
long.
life.
It's been so long since I've really done anything. I wanted to do stuff more this year, then I don't know. I kind of lost a bit of interest. I really
That's
wish I
fair.
didn't, but like, man, I did. I don't know.
I mean, I get it though. Like, gets in the way of things, you know.
But that's the
It's
funny thing. Life really didn't get in the way. It's just I lost like the will to record. Like sometimes when I go to uh record, I'm like I'll start the video and then I'll get part where like maybe a couple minutes in and I'll be like, wow, this is kind of stupid. I like just don't feel into it. And then I'll just stop
mm,
recording and just don't release it.
I can understand that sentiment, but you just got to find the way to stay motivated. I know that's easy to say though, like
No, I mean you're
having to be
right,
the
but
person.
like I don't know how to get me to get motivated. Like that's the thing.
Mm,
That's the
no, I
one
understand.
thing.
Yeah, and honestly, I wish I knew how to tell you. I struggle to keep myself motivated too. It's just a matter of you gotta realize like the things that make you happy, and if it matches what you want, go for it.
I
And
mean,
I wish I had. I guess I never really gave a life update during that
no, this is a
podcast.
perfect time. This is a perfect time. This is where
Yeah,
we just get. This is the game where I thought I was like, it's perfect. It's like we haven't talked to each other in a while, like a good long while. I thought it's
yeah.
absolutely
It's
perfect to catch back up and get some
yeah,
good
definitely.
content. I'm getting. My goal is to get content. That's the only reason we're
Yeah, fair enough. Fair
friends.
enough.
No, but yeah, I just thought it was
Um,
perfect. It's been a while.
no, I
Perfect.
totally get it. It's nice, but for those who don't know, I originally knew this man from high school. Well, really, elementary school. We were.
Yeah, we
I really.
pretty much school. Like, if anything, we'd be considered like life friends.
Yeah, I mean,
We're
since
life partners.
kindergarten for indeed
No, but we've been friends
my
pretty much all our
Pookie.
lives. Your
Yeah,
Pookie Bear.
at like 17, 18 years almost.
Uh, I wouldn't say that much because what we're only 21. Maybe we met when we were 6, so 15 years,
Yeah, I guess you're
which is
right. I
still
guess you're
good
right.
time. Like that's a long time to be friends with someone.
I mean, that's basic. I mean, that's over 75% of my life essentially, and it's
Yeah,
only gonna increase
yeah.
over time. Like, the percentage is gonna just increase over time.
Hmm.
Um,
I mean,
but yeah,
we haven't talked as much as I would have hoped for. You know, I wish
But
we
life
we
gets
kept
in the
more in
way.
contact. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's what I was just to say. I mean,
Yeah,
but
because like you're going, I mean, school's happening, and I'm not gonna lie, I was in a bit of a dark place when it came to school couple years ago. So like I wasn't doing as well. I wasn't performing at the level I wanted to. So I kind of internalized that and I kind of just shut down on talking to people and really only focused on that.
that's
Um,
I mean, I might not completely understand what you're talking about, but I somewhat understand. The only reason I
mhm,
kind of started YouTube in the first place was freshman year of college, back when I was at Penn State. Um,
mhm.
I I was not doing good. I was on like probation or whatever. The what is it? Educational probation or whatever
Like
those called. Yeah,
like the
academic
academic
probation.
probation warning.
And I
Yeah,
I was on that because I did not do good in the first semester, and then second semester I got hit by like I think I told you, but eczema hit me like a truck. Like it got real bad.
yeah.
I think it was a mix of stress. Like I ended up like I the reason I went to 3Cs really was because I was gonna fail out.
That's hey man, that's understandable.
So I went to 3Cs because it's also way cheaper, and I'm really happy right now with it. But like
Hmm.
I was in that time, that was just not a happy time. I mean, we even talked the last time we recorded Powerwash Simulator. I didn't. I re-recorded it. I never released it. But we
Mm.
talked about a lot of those things, and I just taught like that was just a dark time, like in my life, and so
Listen,
I can
dude,
somewhat
I get it.
understand what you're getting at with, not being yourself, like just not being over, not being happy.
Yeah, just I was in a place that I wasn't used to. I wasn't used to like I wasn't the smartest kid in our class by any means, but I wasn't the dumbest. And I feel like it just hit me really, really hard all of a sudden. I'm in school. I'm supposed to be this like pseudo badass engineer,
Hmm.
and I'm just I felt like I was phoning it in this whole time. So I really
Yeah.
hunkered down and I kind of just shut down. I messed up, didn't feel right, and all I really did was school, but I didn't even really do it. I half-assed it.
Hmm.
I did the bare minimum to not drop out.
Yeah. And now is it are you, is it so far is school doing well now? After that, is it
Yeah,
better?
yeah. Like things are doing better. I feel more motivated now. I'm actually getting into my own place. I'm moving out of the house
Oh,
like
really?
permanently now.
Oh,
Yep. So
permanently.
this will be interesting. Yeah, not just a like for the semester sort of saying like I will have a permanent residence.
Now, is this with
And
one of your friends from college?
act so originally it was supposed to be, but an issue came up with leasing that now I'm staying with a stranger.
Oh.
However, it is a female
Oh,
and
really?
she is single.
Oh, okay.
So jury's still out on that. So we'll see
Now,
how that goes.
I think this is where you might want to play it. I don't know if you should really go after this, given she's your roommate. That it might mean for
No, no,
awkward times.
no. I can't in good conscience go after my roommate.
Yeah, I think
What does this soap do?
it's just a bad idea.
You know, I agree. I am doing better. I'm in a better like mental state at the very least. I'm more motivated for what's ahead. And while I'm certainly terrified, like by no means am I like uber confident and not scared at all. It's just I'm prepared and I'm ready to move on.
I'm glad to hear it. I really am.
And then when it all doesn't work out, marry rich.
That is always the game.
If only I could be that lucky. Like, because firstly, I'm assuming somebody would choose to be with me, and then I'm assuming that they would have money.
Yeah, that's the problem with me right now is actually finding someone. The problem is I
Mm,
just don't try. Like I would like to have it happen, but I don't like try.
mm. As in, like, you don't want to go out and socialize, or
Well, a little bit of that too. It's just I'm not great socially. Like I said. And also it's just I'm not in the. I'm never in that. Not mentally, but I'm never in a good place to, you know, meet someone.
you mean as in like where you are in life? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like it's just not like mental state or anything. It's more or less like I literally don't have the opportunity to. Like school, like the classes I take, I can't. I like there's not
There's just
really
nobody to.
nobody to do it. No, do it with nobody to
That's
really,
it. Oh,
engage with.
no, I get what you're saying, but that comes with. I mean, you got to make the effort. You got to choose to go out and socialize, or you got to choose to like meet people online, and that's iffy at best. So like, I totally get why there's some reservations on doing that.
hmm It's also the fact that like, man, I could like think I'm in this perfect spot, perfect time where I'm like, man, I think I can really get into a relationship right now. Like I'm gonna, see if I'm able to. And then the moment comes where it's like, man, I might actually be able to. And then I like drop back on myself, and I'm like, maybe I'm not. I'm just not ready. Like it's a
No,
little
and
bit of
I get.
overthinking where, I double think myself, but
No,
I
I
just
get what
kind
you're
of
saying
cave in,
though.
and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, there's no shot. I'm ready. But I think it's
No,
just
I
me.
totally get
Like
what you're saying.
I get like nervous, and then you know I don't know. I get nervous, and then I don't want to do it.
No. And you're definitely allowed to like and it shows growth. It means that you're aware of where you're at mentally and you don't want to jeopardize where you're going. But you do have to consider the fact that there's never going to be a perfect time for anything.
hmm
Something is always going to happen in life just because that is how life goes. That is how life functions and that is how things are just laid out. Now, am I saying go out and try and date the first girl you see? No. But don't don't beat yourself up so much on wanting to create the perfect moment. I'd focus on letting there be moments to begin with.
I think
Like,
you're absolutely right with that.
no, that's good. And by no means, I hope you don't feel like I'm trying to like rag on you or like force you
No,
into
like
religion. I just said it because like
no. That's not at
it's
all what I. That's I understand, but like one thing I think you never have to worry about me is like I don't know, like giving advice or you know pointing things out to me. Like I'm good with criticism. Like this, I'd like to
mhm.
think I'm really good with criticism.
Mm. I mean, I'd say so. I feel like I've like our conversations, although we really don't have arguments. I don't think we've really had any big disputes.
hmm
That's nice. But no, I do feel like you are very receptive to criticism, and some of our friends that we have just simply aren't.
but I feel like that kind of goes on how I was. I kind of take criticism really well. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's just. I don't take anything to. I killed a bug on my screen and I smashed it into my monitor. There's a streak
Ooh,
on my monitor. Oh come on.
that sucks.
All right. But yeah, I just don't take anything to heart. I really don't.
Mm.
No, I don't know if that's a good or I feel like that's a good and also
Um,
bad thing, but I just don't take
yeah,
anything
I think that's
personally.
accurate.
I don't take
Because it,
anything personally.
like, I think eventually you do need to, like, I think on the surface level, you can see it as, like, you grew up and you are able to, like, hold your own emotionally, but I do think that lack of, like, at its worst, it could be seen as, like, a lack of ability to understand human emotion.
I mean,
But I don't know
I
if
think
it's really that bad.
I think I understand. I'd like to say I can understand human emotion pretty well,
And that's good.
and I do
Do you
take that
allow
into cons.
yourself to express it, though?
No, that's where I think you're absolutely right. Is I don't feel like I express it. I don't allow myself to open up and you know let people in
Yeah.
and show emotion. I like to you know let as few people in and just kind of you know I don't know live my life without care, without
No,
real emotion or real connections.
no, and I can understand that to a degree because I understand protecting your peace, and I know that's a annoying term to hear sometimes, but it is accurate in the sense that if you keep yourself guarded, you can't be hurt by other people. But if you keep yourself guarded around everybody, you never get the chance to develop further emotionally. Because if you stay in that bubble where you don't let anybody in, nobody can be there for you to the extent that you may want someone to be someday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'd say I mean, maybe you confide in your closer friends,
I mean,
and not that you and I aren't close. It's just that you and I aren't close locationally. Like I am literally 1,000 miles away from you,
mm-hmm.
and then I know like one of your best friends from since childhood
Yeah,
lives a little farther away because Phil's not in the same. I
yeah.
don't know if we're blurring names or not. I don't know if it really
No,
matters or
if
not.
it's if as long as you're not talking like, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
As long as you're not really talking bad about them, I'll keep it up
yeah,
and because I mean
yeah.
it's not like we're saying like anything bad about Phil. It's not
No,
we're talking about like personal about this person. Like we're just
yeah,
mentioning this person. And plus, given that Phil is like probably my best friend, our best friend.
no.
This is like
I mean,
it's okay because he won't get angry about it. I'd like to say Phil and I somewhat keep in contact. Maybe I mean I don't really keep perfectly
it's truly
into it, but I'd say like good enough.
no, no. I get what you're saying, and it's totally not like that. Communication's a two-way street, and Phil cannot communicate consistently to save his fucking life. Because I called him yesterday and he did not get back to me until today, which is honestly an improvement because most of the time I just don't hear from the guy.
It takes honestly, I'll be honest with you. I've sent things and hadn't heard from him for like 2 days. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean I'm not too up on it. I get it. Like sometimes you can't always be on your phone. It's more or less I wish he'd respond almost, but
yeah,
I'm not gonna get angry about it because I mean I understand life gets like things get in the way. And you can't always
yeah.
be by your phone.
It feels so weird. Like post COVID feels very odd.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think honestly like COVID in general. I mean I don't even know if we're allowed to say that anymore without it getting like hit with something. But I'm not getting sponsored or anything anyway. But
Right.
like it just feels so weird. Like things are so screwed up now. It's unfortunate that like now that's a term like pre and post COVID. Like that's just
Yeah.
something everybody deals with now. Like that's just everybody knows that now. Like that's how life is. It's life after COVID, and unfortunate because honestly, I wish. I don't know. I just wish it never happened. It's unfortunate that it
No,
did.
I get it.
But I just wish it didn't happen.
And then for some people, like they lost a lot. Like for some people, life post COVID means something. Like for us,
Yeah.
it was pretty chill. Like to my knowledge, you didn't lose any family members to COVID, and I didn't lose any family
No.
members to COVID. So for us, it was more just kind of a wild like thing to experience, but for some
Hmm.
people, it was like a tragedy.
Yeah, and I mean that's it's fortunate that happened, you know.
Yeah,
But like it's just different. I don't know why. Like I don't really notice anything right now that's different, but God, it happened, and now like life just feels different. Whether that means
yeah,
because like we're after it, we're now adults. Like as it happened, like we're turning 18, turning into adults.
hmm
Well, numerically,
No,
we were
I get
like
what you're saying.
we were going from childhood to adulthood because we were going into college. Like things were changing. I think we lost friends and everything. Things just happened.
Yeah, a lot happened, man. I get what you're saying. It was certainly a wild ride. I just, I don't know. I don't, if it is interesting because I think about it sometimes, like how much I worried about certain things in high school and how they just don't matter anymore.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Like, like the little quirks and oddities that I thought like were really bad for me to have in high school just don't matter.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean
Sorry.
that one too.
you
No, no,
you
you're good. You're
you
good.
lobbed that ball up. I just knocked it out of the park. I had to.
No, you're good. No, you're good. But like even now, don't get me wrong. There were definitely just some weird ass mother at our school.
Hmm.
Like the furries were a bit weird.
I don't.
Not
I
gonna
don't. I
lie.
don't. Did we have furries in our
So
class?
we had furries in the worst sense because they like did things with animals.
I think I know which. Well, let's just not go into it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
So it was like not like they were like I can't support that. I can't defend that behavior in any way. And then like of course we had the popular people who ended up finding out how many people just ended up pregnant or with kids
Oh
like
my god. Yeah.
graduation was insane to me.
But yeah, I kind of agree. I don't know why. I think it's also a bit of like. I know, like I should I'm absolutely like I should feel okay to talk to my parents about it. Absolutely, you know. But I also have that like small fear of like disappointment. Don't want to be that.
Hmm.
Like that's what I do. I fear that. I fear being the fear of failure, the fear of disappointment. That's just something that I
Hmm.
do. That's why I don't talk to them. But like
No,
I can't. I feel close to my close friends because like that fear is just not there. That
no.
fear of failure just isn't there. I mean, I don't want to point you guys or anything. I really don't
But
feel that with
it is
you.
different.
Like I view friends a little different than family. Actually maybe feel my friends are kind of my family. I wouldn't say like
Yeah.
blood family and friend like people you consider family is very different.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I'm not saying any are better than the others, but I just
No, but there
I view
is.
them in a different way, but almost similar.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying because relationships, any relationship is built on trust and dependence. You depend on your parents a lot. So most when you're younger, so a lot of it is based on that and they know they are dependent on. But our friendships are built on trust usually instead of dependence. So it's easier to talk to us sometimes about things because you didn't have to depend on us for things, so there's not like that as much weight. Like there's still importance, but the weight isn't there.
Yeah.
Because it's like I went through a couple job interviews today. I only got one of those interviews. The rest of them, or sorry, one callback interview. The rest of them I got rejected hardcore. And that hurt. And when I talked to my mom about it, she tried to comfort me, but I didn't really need comfort in the moment. All I needed was like the
Somebody to
understanding
listen.
of, yeah,
Like someone who would just listen to it, wouldn't try and truly
yeah,
understand it, but just someone that you could just say something to just to say it, like you need to get it out. That's it.
yeah, exactly. Like in this moment, I don't need a solution. I just need someone to like let me express how I feel. And sometimes parents aren't the best at that because they don't want, if any good parent, which I think both of your parents, for better or worse, are good parents.
Hmm. I, I
Like
I
I,
I absolutely like. I'd say
yeah,
good parents.
like do they have their flaws? Maybe, sure. I'm not in their house. I don't know. But parents are still people, so it's not insulting to assume they have flaws. But they're still good parents. They raised you, and you're not a
Like
monster.
you just say they raised good kids. You just go. They raised you.
I mean, to have successfully raised you and dealt with you, they have to be decent people.
I'd say,
Um,
I'd say they're good parents. I mean, they have three kids. I'm one of three, and I'm the
yeah,
middle child, so of course, I'm a little different, But I'd like to say they raised. I don't care. Uh, they raised. I'd say successful people.
yeah,
I'd like to say that. I can't speak for everybody else, and I can't really speak for myself too. I'd say any negativity on yourself just put you down even farther. Really, I
mm-hmm,
mean, there's a difference between like truly critiquing yourself and then just putting yourself down. I think
absolutely.
it's very close to each thing, but reality, everybody shouldn't be so absolutely hard on themselves, and sometimes you can be criticize yourself and be like, oh, like this what I did was wrong. Like that's a different kind
Yeah,
of understanding, but you know like degrading yourself,
yeah,
it's not a healthy thing to do. I feel like doing that just makes yourself feel, and that's something I feel like I
absolutely.
do is I I feel like I'm very hard on myself with certain things. In some ways I feel like it has helped me, but in also some ways I feel like it helped me in the wrong
Mhm.
way.
No, I get what you're saying. Because sometimes it becomes a like a defense mechanism because you try like because some people the mindset is if I say the bad thing about myself first, it can't be used against me by somebody else, which is technically true, but you still are saying the bad thing about yourself. You're still harming yourself, and I don't want that to be confused with like harming yourself, but like you're still hurting
Yeah,
your own personal growth.
yeah. And our problems are, I mean, I feel like everybody has different problems. Everybody has different challenges and things they go through. And no means is like, you know,
Oh,
it's definitely
absolutely.
different, but I, I, I don't think it's healthy to, you know, always say like, oh, well, people have it absolutely worse. And I mean, in some cases, yeah, that's absolutely true, but think about it in a single mindset. Like, my problems, while different, and maybe in the grand scheme of things, not as bad. it's still a challenge growth of yourself. And
Hmm.
I just think that's a good way to think about it when you're going through something, you know.
Absolutely. Because, like, the worst thing that's happening to you may be somebody's, like, fifth time going through something similar, but it's still your time. It's still that person's, like, time dealing with it. Just because a situation isn't that bad for you doesn't mean it isn't bad for somebody else. Like, if I if I am dating someone and I get dumped, but you've been dumped 13 times, that doesn't mean I should feel any less hurt about what happened.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like that's just a good way to think.
Yeah.
It's never I wouldn't say it's never good to think about this, but it might help with healing to sometimes say like, hey, people probably had it worse. It can This can't be the absolute end for me, but I mean, you still need to kind of grow and evolve through. It's still something to learn from. It's something I back to kind of talking about Phil. Something
Hmm.
I absolutely I like to tell Phil. You know, I always like to see it as a learning moment. You know, it's something you grew through it, so it's never the end of the world when something happens. He says, you know, mistake. This is really about mistakes. Is he said he dated the one girl.
Yeah.
But he says, man, that was a mistake. I wish that never happened. And I say, don't be upset. That it happened. Don't say like never wish it happened. While you might feel that way, I think it absolutely made you grow as a person. You learn
Hmm.
from it. You understand things more. In the future, you're going to be you're aware of this, so it might help you to make better decisions, be a better person. So it's
Yeah.
just perfect to learn from.
Yeah, because you can't be yourself without your failures.
Yeah,
It
there's
sucks to think about them, but you are not you without your failures.
if you don't fail, you just have nothing to learn from. You have you know to not have failure. I feel like is just inhuman. You know,
Hmm.
I feel like you have to have some of your failures, whether big or small, to really learn from it. I feel like it's always a learning moment. It's never nothing. It's always a learning moment, whether it be good or bad. It's perfect to learn.
No, I totally agree. It's just, I don't know. Life is life is hard enough without you trying to beat yourself up about things. Like, am I kind of using this game right now to cope with the fact that I went through 5 job interviews and only one of them is giving me the opportunity to do like the second round of it? Yeah. But I also know that at the end of this, I'm gonna take my time to be a little bit bummed out, and then I'm gonna realize that while 4 of those 5 jobs didn't give me a second chance or didn't give me the opportunity to move forward, one of those jobs saw the potential that I had and is giving me the option to take the next step.
Yeah, and that's where it's a chance when you go to this new job and you do some do and like do something like make yourself better through work hard, be the person that they want but somewhere else. Like almost be it as a way to like show them like, hey, you didn't hire me. This is the kind of worker I could have been for you by doing a
Hmm.
really good job at this place. I'm not great at wording it, but I feel like
No, I get it.
I'm trying to explain it in a way where you understand. Like it's a chance for you to be better.
Hmm.
I feel like that's also a place for failure. It's a chance to be better, and that should be everybody's goal at the end of the day. I feel like that's just how it should always be. Like it's always be a chance to be a better person, a better partner in any case.
I absolutely agree with that. It's hard, but you gotta grow as people. But sometimes just they just don't. It's up to you to focus on yourself, though. That's all you can really do nowadays. But I am genuinely impressed. You have grown a lot over the years.
You're just saying.
Eh, I mean, I am saying it, but it's accurate. You've truly grown as a person. You're like you definitely have work to do, as do I, but you've grown. You've shown a level of maturity that some people aren't capable of showing. You are aware of your flaws, which there was a time where people probably didn't think you were aware of that. But it's a matter of maybe you're not where you want to be and you don't feel comfortable sharing with somebody, but you know the things you have to work on going forward. You know that you want to grow as a person.
Yeah.
And it seems like you're very close to making that change.
That's why I always try. I think it's important to me to always try and do better. I just see it as a chance. Like my goal is to just be better at everything. I
Hmm.
feel I'm so hard on myself because I want to be better at as much as I can. Like example, I I've been going golfing often.
Mm.
I'm not good at any means. I'd say that right now. I'm not good. I'm not that good. But I mean, I think I've gotten better. I will certainly say I've gotten better. But I always am so hard on myself with golf. I get so angry when I, you know, hit a ball.
Hmm.
So and
Absolutely.
I get angry. I get upset at myself. I feel like to me, while people might see it as, man, like you shouldn't be angry. You need to relax and everything. Like I feel like maybe you might be somewhat right, but I think it's part of who I am. I'm always you know striving to be better, and that's why I'm hard on myself. I I view myself so highly in any regard that when I fail or misjudge anything, it's important for me to be better. I should have been
Hmm.
better. That's the thing. Should have been better at it. I think that's why I think. And that's just how I feel. I think, which might not be how others view it, but part of what I
No.
feel that's why I get, somewhat emotional, not towards people, but towards actions that I do or things that I do. It's just that's I guess that's just how I view myself and how I view my actions.
Oh, I get that, man. I mean, you have to. You gotta take pride in the things you do. Otherwise, what's the point in doing them?
Honestly, that's probably like one of my favorite things. Taking pride in things I do. Like maybe I didn't do that in things I don't like to do. Like say in high school English. Like I was never good at English, and that's kind of the reason I'd say I never put effort into it. I never put effort into better at English, mainly because I didn't enjoy English. I was never any good at it. And
Hmm.
honestly, it's one of those things where I just I never wanted to be better at. I didn't care to be better. I felt I had other things that I wanted to put more effort in. Things I wanted to, you know, do more of, put more of my time and energy into. I never took pride in my work through English. Maybe there was a couple of things where I'd like to say I thoroughly thought I did a good job, and that's where my grade kind of showed. Like I know when I've put energy into it. If I'm proud of something, of something that I did, then I know no matter what grade I get, like I'm gonna feel
You.
happy about it. I'm
Hmm.
gonna be happy about how much I put into it. But English was just in high school. Even now, like don't like it. I really don't, and I feel like that's where I don't feel I have pride in the work I put in English. But then
That's
again,
fair.
in my own kind of way, I don't care that I don't put it. I don't enjoy it, and I don't know if I'll ever enjoy it. So to me,
Why
why
bother?
why why would I put my time into something I won't enjoy? But in some cases, I feel like that's wrong because you should take pride in everything. Really should.
Hmm.
Even if you don't enjoy it, gotta show some pride for it. Take pride in everything you do. Put energy and hard work into everything you do, even if you don't like it. That's that's what I should say to people. It's not what I do, and I feel like that's not a good way to lead or talk. But take advice from someone who has, I feel, failed in that regard. Your put work into everything. Really should. I mean, and at the end of the day, you will just be much happier, more proud of yourself, be less hard on yourself if you just take the time to, do even the stuff that you don't enjoy. You know.
I agree. You are only benefiting yourself in the long run if you do that.
Oh, absolutely. I feel that's where, like, in your work life, that's where you're gonna be valued the most. I like the term leadership, and I like to be leader because it means, you know, nobody truly tells me how things should be. I like to, I'm okay with being the leader and then making the mistakes and taking the blame because I can do that all day, every day, and I'm okay with it. I take critique perfectly. I can get yelled at and be perfect because it truly doesn't bother me. In a little bit it does, and every once in a while, emotions take control. But in reality, it it, it doesn't bother me. So
Hmm.
I like to be a leader because I don't like being told what to do. I mean, I know there's times where you have to take you like say there's a boss, like somebody in charge, like kind of have to.
Yeah.
I like being, in control of my time and what I do. Like to have somewhat say in it. Don't like not able to.
No, that's totally understandable. I don't think that's too much to ask for. And then like low key, what's the worst is like you'll find like you find someone who matches like everything that you want like in a relationship like personality wise, but they're just not your type like appearance wise, and that is a pill to swallow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And honestly, I'd like to say like, oh, I'm not completely into look. I feel like that's just kind of a oh, I truly don't care about looks. In reality, part of me does, but I wouldn't say I'm like super,
No.
exact on it. I wouldn't say, oh, because they look this way, I'm, a pig about it. It's not. That's
No,
just not how I
no,
am. But in a small part of me, it does.
no.
I feel like that's. I feel like reality, like that's okay, but to not get hung up on it is a
Yeah.
good way to think. It's a good way to be.
No, that's fair. Because my thinking is, like, my rationale is always, it's on the list, but it's not the top of the list. It's because at the end of the day, you're not gonna speak to someone you don't find attractive. Like, you're not gonna just because that's how people are conditioned to like communicate. Like, if you don't like, you're not gonna be able to look at someone and be like, oh. she has a great personality. Now, if the context of the situation, like if she's saving a kitten out of a tree, okay, then yeah, fine. You can say she has a good character and is probably a good person, sure, whatever. But like if you just see someone walking down the street, you are not going to be able to discern their personality or their characteristics. If they are appealing to you, you are then going to approach them and take the time to get to know them.
Yeah, and also,
Therefore,
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, you're okay. You're okay. Therefore, like, its attractiveness is on the list. It's just not the top of the list.
I feel like, you know, certain, not quite, I should say, beauty, like, when it comes to their, what's the right, their appearance, you know, you can be attracted to, their personality, how they act. It's not always how exactly they are appearance wise. I feel like you can find personality attractive. I think in some ways I do look for personality, but it'd be wrong to say like appearance doesn't matter. I feel like if you do that, you're just somewhat in denial. And I mean, in a way, you can absolutely feel that way. I shouldn't absolutely say like, you know, you're in denial if you truly believe in appearance, but in some way, I feel that I don't know. I don't want to generalize, but some way, part of me feels it's true. Like everybody does
Mm,
look for, you know,
yeah,
that perfect person.
yeah. No, I totally get that, and I am inclined to agree. But honestly, when it comes to dating, I think you're allowed to be as selfish as you want, as long as you're willing to deal with the consequences. Like, if I say that I want a girl who is rich, smart, funny, beautiful, and is the exact like height, weight, skin color that I want her to be, and I don't find her until I'm 55, well, that's on me. That's my own fault. But if I just look for someone who I think I could be happy with and I find her at 25 instead of 55, well, that's on me then. Like, I'm better off. Because at least I'm happy and I was content with the decision I made. As long as you are prepared to suffer the consequences, and consequences don't always mean a bad thing, because it just means it just means you are prepared to deal with what comes from your actions.
Yeah, and also, I mean, maybe you know what I might. No, I'll ask that right. What is your thoughts on like you know like love at first sight or what is that called? I'm trying to think of it.
I mean, I think I understand. If you're asking my
Like
opinion
true
on the
love,
like
true love. That's what I should say.
true love, what are my thoughts? So I feel like that would almost be like if I believe a soulmate. I don't
Soulmate. That's the
think.
word. That's the word
Okay.
I wanted to
Do I
say.
believe in soulmates?
Yeah.
No. If I'm being completely honest, I don't believe in soulmates. It's like, would it be nice to think that there is a perfect pairing made for me out there? Yeah, but I just don't think it's realistic. I think you can form a connection with anybody, and if it is strong enough, it will develop into something worth keeping. I believe you can hit it off with someone immensely. I believe you can fall head over heels for somebody. Now, true love, I have a hard time accepting just because it's not realistic to say. There's too many things in this life. It's just not. I just can't believe that it's true.
Yeah.
Now, would I be against it? No. I just don't think it's realistic.
Okay. That's what I was. I was just curious about it because that came to mind. We were talking. Just what we were talking about. I thought it was perfect time to ask that question because I
Yeah.
feel like
I'd,
that's what some people look for, and I think it's perfectly okay to believe that. I mean, possible you do find that you know true love, a soulmate, very possible.
Hmm.
But I feel like the term soulmate means so much more than what a fairy
Yeah.
tale thing, like a fairy tale will say a soulmate is. Like that one person for you, where the person you find where you're like, maybe they're not my soulmate, but you fall in love, that, and
Yeah.
then at the end of the day you're happy with them. I feel like that's the time to say, hey, maybe they were your soulmate. They weren't your perfect picture of what a soulmate might have been in your eyes, but that person damn well could be, in all considerations, all
Yeah.
terms, your soulmate. They are the person that makes you happy, the person that you are, willing to die for, the person, no other person compares to them. The person you want to spend the rest of your life with.
Yeah, man.
I feel that could damn well be the term soulmate. I wouldn't say. I mean, that's just what I feel the term soulmate means, and that's in no way like a dictionary term.
No, no, but that is a very valid interpretation. Because if I were to go with the like stereotypical, like cliche movie version of like soulmate, I wouldn't believe in it. I personally would almost think it's kind of insulting because it's like, why is it like you're saying my life was planned out and that I like there is only one person that I can spend the rest of my life with versus I found someone who I care for and I am making the conscious decision to make them the person I want to spend the rest of my life with.
Yeah, that's where I feel like you can find your soulmate.
Hmm.
You can make someone your soulmate. Just I hate I mean I don't like how it was depicted, like how soulmate was depicted as this person like you dreamed of, like this is the person you were meant to be with. Because that soulmate could be anybody, absolutely anybody. If you change your mindset.
Hmm.
But anyway, as we're getting closer to completing this project, are there any other advice, any other things you wanna say, not just to me, but to the people out there, people who are listening?
Truly, if you want to be happy in life, do the things that would make you enjoy it. And I know that sounds dumb. It sounds like I essentially just said the same thing to you twice, but it's really not the case. You need to go into life trying to do better, trying to be better, and do the things that would make you happy as a person.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to do something.
No, you're good. Like, anyway, it's just life is not easy to deal with anyway. So don't make your life harder by hating the things that you do. Live your life to the fullest, and you will be better off. And now we awkwardly hunt down the last four walls and
I see the
rails that
walls.
need
I see the
sprayed.
walls. They're over here.
Okay. There is like a button that tracks the things, right? I
Can't
just don't
remember if it is.
remember.
Like tap. It's tap.
If
I keep falling like a freaking idiot.
son of a
Tab. Yeah, it's tab.
son of a bro. Bro, just climb.
Like trying to climb up there. No, that's done. It's over here.
Ah,
But yeah, I mean, the final thing I'd like to say, I mean, less like I feel we should do this more. I think it's not just great content because I hate I hate to say that, but I feel like it's a great time. I mean, I thoroughly enjoy like fight better for other people to talk about things.
No,
It's
I
just
agree.
I enjoy it, and I hate to be the guy to say like, oh, maybe this content, like, milk this.
No, but it's accurate though. I mean, if it fits a niche, go for it. I mean, we're playing Powerwash Simulator, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be this game. It could be anything, truly. Well, maybe not
Yeah,
anything. Like anything like super like gameplay heavy would have to be like focused on. So maybe like low key video games. Like we could essentially do like a low key survival world on Minecraft, Terraria. Maybe not Terraria. Terraria is pretty intense towards the end. But if you play stuff like Stardew Valley, even that would be a pretty good
I
option.
just recently got started. It's like 1 or 2
Nice.
weeks. But yeah, I think if you guys have, now that we finished, honestly, if you guys have any other games, any advice, or not, I shouldn't say, any questions that you guys want us to discuss, anything, any topics, leave it in the comments, because I would love to do that. I think this could be an opportunity to kind of build a community, and we all just help each other. So I think if anybody watching this, have topics, questions, please leave it in the comments. We'll get to them. We'll talk to them about the next video. We'll even say like the name of who discovered or asked the question. You could be that
Better.
person. So
Mhm.
we'll discuss that, and we'll have to do this again. We'll have to find. You guys want another game? Even like let us know what game you might want to watch us play. That might not mean we're gonna absolutely play it, but maybe low key games, like calming games, games where the gameplay kind of goes with the conversation.
Yeah. And honestly, you guys could help us find a name for this mini series. We don't exactly have a name picked. We just decided this might be a thing we do going forward. So feel free to come up with a name.
Yeah. So just as always, be ready for the next video whenever it comes out. I don't know when I'll come out to it. I mean, I wish I could be a better person when it comes to this getting out videos. I'll try to get this out as soon as possible. Not that you'll know, but I'll try to get future videos out about this as soon as
Hmm.
possible so we can get to the thing, get to problems, get to things we want to talk about. But as always, thank you all dudes for watching this video, and if you truly enjoyed, make sure you absolutely smash the subscribe button. It'll glow if you're subscribed. So yeah, thank you all dudes for watching. Noah, thank you so much for joining me on this. And yeah, we'll see all you dudes in the next video. See you guys then. Bye bye.
See